Hello. Quick trigger warning while I adjust the mic. If anyone is extra squeamish, this might be an opportunity to take a bathroom break, visit the patio. I think you guys can handle it, but I'm just mentioning it just in case there's anyone extra squeamish. I've always known how to care for myself, even at a very young age. I remember hurting myself, and instead of going to someone for help, for them to bandage it for me, I'd go into the bathroom and press toilet paper against it until it stopped bleeding. I still do this as an adult to this day. I still see a terrible injury and keep the scream, trapped like a bird in a canary mine, not to show any emotion. I've been in the worst pain ever, and no one has a clue. I still joke around, which is why doctors think I'm fine. That pain chart on the wall of how if someone is crying, brows furrowed, unable to talk, is the highest level of pain, does not compare to how I show pain. But if I became an inconvenience, I knew at a young age that I'd be punished physically and verbally. I didn't mind the hitting. I did mind the name calling and telling me that they didn't want to have me as a child. But here the fuck I am. One particular time was when I taught myself to stop crying, when I started gushing blood and bleeding everywhere when I fell off my bike around 5 years old. The scar is still there on my knee. That's how badly I'd cut into the ground and scraped the skin deeply. I remember the exhilaration of crawling up that hill without training wheels, because my family believes you either have your balance or you faceplant. This hill felt like a Midwestern mountain, and I huffed and puffed my tiny little lungs, but I refused to get off my bike and walk it. It happened when I was making it to the top of the hill. I pushed the pedal and balanced my weight, but since I wasn't moving anywhere, I fell sideways into the concrete sidewalk. The pain was immediate. I knew I'd have to get back up on that bike. We were going up a hill, and I was relentlessly pedaling and losing my balance. The gravel stuck in the wound from the asphalt, meeting my young, easy-to-tear skin. Even as a tiny kid, I remember my thought process as if it were yesterday. Wow, that looks bad. But it's not bleeding. I'll be fine. Don't show anything else. The skin was white. I remember finding that odd. I remember the missing chunk and how it almost fascinated me, what the wound looked like without anything to protect it. The wound was that snowy flesh white before the blood came. I remember talking to myself down from crying at this age, rationalizing it wasn't that bad and I'd be fine. My mother was behind me, and I knew it wouldn't be a good situation for me if I cried. I was going through breathing techniques, maybe having a mini panic attack, and I was a 5-year-old. Then the blood came in a rush. I remember how it felt in my heart, as if someone had their fist around it and crushed it like pressed rose petals. I let out a wail because I didn't know how it would stop. It kept going. I was bleeding profusely, and my mother behind me told me to stop screaming or else. Her grip on my shoulder was sudden and tightened, like a snake looking to squeeze the life from its prey. Her nails cut in just slightly enough to promise violence for later if I didn't get a hold of myself. I remember her tone slashing through my panic and my pain, and I stopped immediately. I took the back of my wrist and wiped my nose with it. My breaths shuddered inside my chest until I sounded calm, soothed, and in control again. I rode my bike back home without so much as a whimper. Eventually, the bleeding stopped, and there was only a scar to tell the story. Thank you.